See Senator Marsha Blackburn, who says when our nation is not secure, every town in America becomes a border town. I would agree with you 100%, Senator. You see those pictures and you think, well, it's down in Texas, but eventually it comes home, no?
It does come home, and we are hearing from local elected officials and law enforcement. They're seeing an uptick in the fentanyl that is on their streets. They're seeing more sex trafficking and human trafficking. But, you know, David, what we have to realize, this is the Biden immigration plan. Go back and look at what he said during the campaign. He expected a couple million people to come to the border. So it leads people to say, what are we going to do about this? And we need to go back to putting that Remain in Mexico policy back in place, those asylum protocols that we had, get them back in place. Stop this catch and release. That's what they want, so that they can just go about the country wherever they want to go. Go back to building a wall. And, of course, the Guard is down there on the border. They don't want to tell you that, nor do they want to tell you that we have people from all these different countries, and we have caught terrorists, people that are on the terrorist watch list, trying to come in. Now, those are the ones we caught.
Yeah, and to your point about the danger for cities all over America, ICE is in the business of catching people who are dangerous criminals. Despite the tremendous influx of people coming across the border, ICE arrests are way down, 60% down from where they were right now, 60%. So you have many more immigrants, but a 60% drop in ICE arrests. What does that mean about the violent criminals getting in?
Well, it tells you that they're getting in. And bear in mind, President Biden had time to appoint John Kerry as a climate czar, but he has not put forward a nominee to head ICE or the CBP or USCIS. Those he hasn't gotten around to yet. And we know that these criminals are getting through, and then they are somewhere with some of these cells. The FBI has told us there are terrorist cells that are in this country. And now these people are coming through this border. This is an outrageous situation, and this is something that they need to address immediately.
Well, as we know, a lot of progressives want to eliminate ICE entirely, and of course President Biden has done a lot to try to placate the progressives in his party. Maybe that's part of it. China, I got to turn to China because tomorrow is the big meeting in Alaska between the new Secretary of State and the Chinese officials. Most Americans view China as a real threat to the United States. Given that in mind, what do you expect our team to do when they speak with the Chinese directly tomorrow?
Well, I hope they have a backbone, and I hope that they do not back down and make concessions to the Chinese Communist Party. And they need to hold them accountable for what they are doing to the Hong Kong freedom fighters, to Taiwan, to Tibet, to Inner Mongolia. They need to hold them accountable for the genocide that they are committing against the Uyghurs.
The question, though, Senator, is how. They've said that. They said that in a statement that just came out today. They said that there are certain sanctions that are going to be put in place, but the sanctions, frankly, even though the Chinese squawk about it, the Chinese Communist Party, it doesn't really change their actions with regard to the Uyghurs, with regard to intentions on Taiwan, et cetera. So what do you do that will actually change your behavior?
China wants to be accepted as a part of the community of nations so they can dominate the community of nations. China needs to realize that we are going to stand in that gap and that our allies are going to stand with us against them. We need to let them know. Take, for instance, the oil that is coming from the Keystone Pipeline, that we're going to make certain that that comes south rather than heading over to the coast and being put on tankers and heading to China. You have to play hardball with these guys because they've been playing hardball with us.
Unfortunately, it's too late, though. I mean, the president has nixed the Keystone Pipeline. We're sure that the oil is not going to travel through the U.S. It is going to go directly from Canada to China.
Well, we need to be intent on changing some minds and retracting some of these executive orders that have been very favorable to China and not favorable to the U.S. This is why we have to make certain that when they have this meeting tomorrow, that China gets the message. Sanctions, maybe they will work. More strict parameters on trade deals, they should know that. Repatriating manufacturing of pharmaceuticals, microprocessors, batteries, looking at how we protect rare earth minerals. China needs to know we're going to aggressively work on this because we're going to protect our people and our economy, and we know what their game is.
Senator, I just have 15 seconds, but the attacks on the filibuster, you live and die by the filibuster in the Senate, as you well know. Will it survive these attacks on it from the Democrats?
As long as we can keep the pressure on a couple of Democrats, and as long as the American people realize what is going on, and that what they're trying to do, the Democrats are trying to radically change this country. Obama said he wanted to do it when he was president. He never got around to it, thank goodness. And we need to keep this filibuster so that we do not pass H.R. 1, the PRO Act, the Equality Act, the Defund the Police. This is their agenda. It is to radically change this country.
Senator Marsha Blackburn, it's not in keeping with that situation, but have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Thank you for coming in.
And to you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.